Mr. Garbow, in our meeting that we had in my office, we had the opportunity to discuss the Sixth Circuit court decision, and I mentioned in my opening statement that I trust you've had an opportunity to review that case since that time. Now, since the letter of the law and the court's decision opinion are so clear, what is your position now in terms are you going to be willing to expand the Sixth Circuit decision nationwide so there's a clear regulatory standard? The reason I asked that, I mentioned that in my opening statement, I also mentioned that there's other cases where the reverse was true. So what is going to be your attitude now in that case?
Senator, thank you for the question, and I do recall discussing this at our meeting, and I did, as I said I would, undertake to find out more about both the case and the memo that you describe. As you know, the case dealt with Circuit Court's interpretation of an agency regulation dealing with the relationship, if you will, between an oil and gas sweetening plant and some wells for purposes of a determination. And there was, I think, after that circuit decision, with counsel of the Justice Department and obviously discussions with the client, a decision made as evidenced by a memo that you've referenced to only apply that decision within the Sixth Circuit. I should point out that I don't think that that practice, if you will, is limited to either our agency or, for that matter, this administration. It, I think, finds support as well in just the general notion of the federal system where different circuit courts approach things differently, and there, as you may have heard, a law of a circuit. Things are differently. So what I can commit, Senator, to do is to go back to that memo. I understand that it was to be conveyed to states and to potential permit applicants to see how it's being implemented, if you will, elsewhere in the country. Certainly in future instances like this, if confirmed, I would look very carefully at the pros and cons for taking this approach. I think above all, my concern, Senator, if confirmed, would be not only to ensure that we've got some consistency and a good understanding of why we're applying decisions one way versus the other, but primarily to make sure that the agency operates, again, as Senator Vitter has pointed out, in a transparent way, that we communicate with clarity.
Okay, I'm really sorry, but my time's almost expired just on this one answer, and is it yes or no?
I will go back and look at the memo, Senator, and explore the case. I cannot commit right now.
Okay, that's fine. Senator Cardin mentioned Mr. Kapocis. You and I, actually, we came in the same year, so we were with you in 1987. It's been a long friendship, I might add. You're aware that agencies tried to link the hydraulic fracturing to groundwater contaminations 3 different times. I mentioned this: Pavilion in Wyoming, Dimick in Pennsylvania, Range Resources, and then, of course, Senator Crapo talks about the most egregious case out there. Are you aware, and this is the same question that I asked Lisa Jackson some time ago, are you aware of any documented cases of groundwater contamination being definitively caused by hydraulic fracturing? Short answer, if you would, please.
No, I'm not.
Thank you very much. I have a question for all 3 of you having to do with the sue and settle issue. It's really been concerning to me. But I was encouraged that the agency recently allowed the National Association of Manufacturers to be at least somewhat involved in a recent lawsuit involving the development of the new ozone standard. The question would be for all 3 of you, and if you'd like, you can go ahead and answer it for the record, but be really definitive. Will you commit to engaging with industry groups that will be affected by settlement agreements with non-governmental organizations before those agreements have been entered into? If you'd like to give me a short answer now, that's fine. If not, a letter for the record would be fine.
If I may, Senator, with respect to your question, I will commit to have, if confirmed, an open door and to respond to any requests to meet and concerns.
Okay, that's a good answer. That's a good answer. Anybody else agree with that?
Well, I would say that that has been my track record. I've always been willing to listen to anybody's point of view, and that would certainly continue if I were confirmed.
I appreciate that very much. Mr.
And the
Jones?
same
you-
answer applies to myself. Thank you, sir.
Very good. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.